All right, and we're live. All right, welcome back, everybody. Um, Today we're recording sort of a special one. It is, in fact, Reflections Tuesday. As of you're seeing this in the future, it is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. Um, and it is Rowan Atkinson's birthday today. And the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bean himself is celebrating a birthday today. So I thought I'd talk about my favorite and his final film, Mr. Bean's Holiday. It just so turns out that today is his birthday. And so I wanted to talk about one of my favorite holiday films of all time. This one was released in the summer, and it was one of his last um, one of his last films. It was actually his last um, film, and he did reprise the role of Mr. Bean for the 2012 London Olympics. And if you've seen that clip online, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very famous clip. There's actually a couple of funny connections that you can make in this film. There's a scene where it's finally revealed that his first name is in fact Mister. And there's just a quick shot where you can see his passport, and it reveals that Mr. Bean's first name is actually Mister. And so I thought that was extremely funny. Um, the other thing is there's a actress named Emma DeCons, and she was snoring in the Cannes uh, film festival scene. And if you can hear her snoring, that's actually her snoring. She took a sleeping pill before and really snored. Um, and so there's a scene there where she's snoring in the car right before they get there, and it's authentic. And that it was an embarrassing thing for her because they caught it on film and didn't tell her until later. So I thought that was a fun thing too, that you can make that connection. Um, and the thing is, they actually filmed this at the festival, the scene, and they were filmed on the red carpet and were shot during the actual 2006 Cannes Film Festival, with Willem Dafoe confirming it was Pedro Costa's Colossal Youth film that was premiering there, and that's why he was there along with so many others. So there's just a lot there. This was the only film that Teddy, the iconic teddy bear from the TV show, was missing, and he did not appear in this film at all because it was the final film, and it was kind of a big moment, and so he wasn't in it for some reason, and they didn't shoot any scenes where they even referenced Teddy at all, which I think is a shame because um, throughout the entire show, both the series that was real and the cartoon series, he was always there, always there. He always made an appearance, and he was always a pivotal part of Bean's journey and chaos. And so, but today we're going to be talking a little bit about my overall thoughts through the years. I finally took the time to review this film. This film for me is a feel-good movie, and so I love everything about this film. Um, and everyone loves a good holiday weekend type film. This movie does take place in June, so there's no excuse to be able to watch it on any major holidays unless you watch it in the middle of June, just to give you kind of a before or after summer boost, depending on when you want to watch it. Um, Throughout this movie, when I watched it recently when I was sick, one of the things that I noticed was just the relatability of some of the people around, the embodiment of pure menace and chaos that Mr. Bean appears to be, even though he's extremely lovable. And Rowan's portrayal of the character is just iconic, and to this day one of the best of all time. Um, Going throughout most of his whole career, not really speaking and speaking very little. Um, I wonder sometimes if it's not the most chaotic foreign film ever made. I don't know if you can consider it foreign per se, but it is. It happens mostly in France, and uh, so I think that that's a really fun thing to notice about it. And all the people speak French, and there's a lot of stuff there. So as a kid, it was my favorite comfort film. I watched it all the time throughout the years, and it's still my favorite show now. But some of the brilliant choices made by Rowan Atkinson. Sorry, Atkinson. I'm gonna get that right eventually. Is brilliant. In what is surely his career defining role, as is his last in this specific role. He played, kind of the same characteristics in many films. I think of his role in Rat Race. He was a lot the same as Mr. Bean. Bean just somehow ends up in the right place at the right time, and he has almost domino, like just all things falling into place level of luck in some ways, and still leaves a trail of destruction behind him. And so there's just something about that, but it's something where I feel like he's more and more lovable over the years, just because the dedication that it took to that role. He did talk about it was the toughest role he's ever played throughout his career. It was just a constant, you know, the definition of chaos, and just the real dedication that he had to the role to not speak a lot and just make it all physical and like facial. He talks about he can never go back and do it again. He said that in several interviews. That's why this one, Mr. Bean's Holiday, was his last, is because it was starting to take a real toll on his body, and so he wanted to move on to other projects and things that would come out later that were just as good and important in other ways. But he's one of my favorite actors of all time. He also does Johnny English, which I think is brilliant and very funny. And maybe I'll talk about that later in another video. But he was one of the best, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Mr. Bean's Holiday. I think it's also one of those movies where it's shot very differently in film, and most of it is shot on that camera that he carries around from his actual perspective, and then out from there. But there's a lot of brilliant actors in and around him. Of course, Willem Dafoe plays a really interesting role in this one as kind of a actor and director that's constantly being foiled by Bean, along with the brilliant child actor that he's with, and Emma as they're going through the cities and stuff. And when he's just alone, he's also very good. And so I think that that's extremely awesome. And so I just want to take a minute to talk about that movie today. Happy birthday, Mr. Bean. This one should go up tonight, and thank you guys so much again. Oh, a little bit of trailer news update. We did get I think it's our third trailer for Avengers Doomsday, and also they released somewhat of an official cast list. I've been seeing online different stuff for the cast list for that one. I'll talk about that really soon. But I'm very excited about that. This summer is just absolutely packed with movies, and I can't wait to get out and start seeing them. Some of them will start coming out this month. January is packed to the gills already with some films that I'm very, very excited about. We also got a trailer for the A24 film Death of Robin Hood, which I'm pretty excited about. Looks very interesting, as always, very exciting. So, all that and so much more soon, and more reviews on the way. And you guys just have a great rest of your week, and I will see you again soon. Okay, peace out.